Some serious scientific American word salad here for you NASA fanboys. All right, so compounding this problem, most observations of the universe occur experimentally and indirectly. No kidding. Today's space telescopes provide no direct view of anything. They produce measurements through an interplay of theoretical predictions and pliable parameters in which the model is involved every step of the way. The framework literally frames the problem. It determines where and how to observe. And so, despite the advanced technology and methods involved, the profound limitations to the endeavor also increase the risk of being led astray by the kind of assumptions that cannot be calculated.
So when I drive from Florida to California, it seems flat to me.
I see. Okay.
So you ever been in a flight and you get ready to land and you pull up the window and you look?
Yeah.
It seems flat, right?
Well,
okay, so after spending many years researching the foundations of cosmological physics from a philosophy of science perspective, I have not been surprised to hear some scientists openly talking about a crisis in cosmology, kind of like the one Michio Kaku was talking about.
There is a crisis in cosmology.
they almost took your PhD in education away.
Yeah, they did.
In the big inflation debate in Scientific American a few years ago, a key piece of the Big Bang paradigm was criticized by one of the theory's original proponents for having become indefensible as a scientific theory. Why? Because inflation theory relies on ad hoc contrivances to accommodate almost any data, and because its proposed physical field is not based on anything with empirical justification. This is probably because a crucial function of inflation is to bridge the transition from an unknowable Big Bang to physics we can recognize today. So, is it science or a convenient invention?
Right, you have to have inflation so that you can rewind to the beginning of time. If you don't have that, then you can't rewind. And we've already discussed about Hubble. I've said it a million times, that quote about having to stay away from the absolute horror of being in a unique position. That's the reason they had to adopt the idea of expansion, and that's the reason why everything, he just said it, everything has to run directly through it. No matter what observation you make, it has to match the expansion theory, because otherwise we're the center of the universe and everything is central to us. Crazy. I love this article. Continue.
Yep, that's great. Okay. And you got to love this. A few astrophysicists, such as Michael J. Disney, have criticized the Big Bang paradigm for its lack of demonstrated certainties. In his analysis, the theoretical framework has far fewer certain observations than free parameters to tweak them, a so-called negative significance that would be an alarming sign for any science. No kidding.
But not pseudoscience. That's the problem.
No, it fits right into pseudoscience.
Fits right in. Keep it coming.
Yep. As Disney writes in American Scientist, a skeptic is entitled to feel that a negative significance after so much time, effort, and trimming is nothing more than one would expect of a folktale constantly re-edited to fit inconvenient new observations. He goes on talking about how this is ultimately a mathematical construct. This article is fabulous. Yeah, it's nuts on.
Yeah, Simon Dan will tell you it's all fact, and anybody who questions something so obviously contrived is an idiot. So, I mean, it's just because they want to believe in that theory. It allows them to be atheists. It allows them to believe that their actions here they'll never be responsible for. It allows them to lie whenever they want, because who cares? If there's no reason for you not to lie, if there's no morality built inside of us. But there is a morality built inside you. It was put there from the very beginning. And there's some people out there who will do anything, and by anything I mean expound upon their theories like this says, to the point of being off by 10 to the 120th.
10 to the 120.
Which should not be allowed in any walk of life, let alone in something that's going to try and call itself scientific. And this is what they've done.
Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible.
Now to this